It is, I don't know, 1:38. It's 1:38, 1:39 now, right? 1:40. 1:38 in the morning. How you doing? Um, I'm gonna try to talk this out, but I know that I may get lost in like 17 tangents and not be able to come, like, I sometimes it's very difficult for me to articulate my thoughts in a way that makes sense for other people. If I start talking about something like an aha moment, sometimes it's very difficult for me to like stick on point. I'll go into a million different directions and sometimes I get lost. I don't know. Sometimes I do make the full loop, but sometimes it's a half loop. Okay. Um I have shared a tremendous amount of my journey, like throughout the years, on any of my social medias. If you look at them combined and things over the years, I have been pretty forthcoming with my journey and what I've been through and what I lived through, and you know, my life, my experience. I've shared a good part of it. It was cathartic, but also to help others who are struggling or going through the same thing. And I can't tell you like how many times I've lived this passage of the phoenix where things have to, like, it's like a ginormous pruning, and then what's left is like what's left. It's like me and God alone, right? So I've been through this a few times, and there's something in the air, right? There's something in the air that I can feel, and it's just there. And I realized today, I was cleaning up. I had a flare, a health flare. I'm like my bloating where it goes like super, my stomach gets super large. It's the methanogens in my intestines, and I'm working on a new. I did some research, and I've been home with COVID all week. Did some more research on some kind of herbal protocol I can take to help myself. So that's going to be part of my, sharing my journey going forward. But anyway, so I was doing stuff today, not doing stuff, but like researching. And then I decided that I was going to straighten up my room a little bit because it had gotten like, I can't live in clutter. I can make clutter, right? And I could sit in it for a little bit, but after a while I can't. And to a person who is like very minimalist, my non-clutter would be their like nightmare because I'm very good at fitting a lot of things in a small amount of space. Okay, moving on. See? Okay, let me just take a breath here. I had one of those aha moments tonight, just a few minutes ago, and I'm still having it. I'm gonna have to ponder on this one for quite like for a good amount of time. Now, I haven't really been sharing anything on social media for the past like year or two. It's been very sparse. I don't share I haven't shared my journey. I've been going through a lot of stuff, and I've just went complete hermit. Like, even though more of a hermit, which I am, you not. I mean, I don't know. Yes and no, but so anyway, today, now I've been sleeping on my pillows. Have been flat and flat and flat, and I keep trying to prop them up, and every night because of the coughing is just like really worse at night because of the nasal drip or whatever. My lungs are inflamed, and uh, I I'm testing negative now. I've tested negative for the past 2 days. Um, yeah, so my pillows have been flat, and I got into bed, and I'm like, why don't I just like fluff my pillow? And then all of a sudden, like, it's such a stupid little thing that I did for myself to have, like, like taking care of myself. But it's a stupid thing. It's just like fluffing a pillow. Like, anybody could just like fluff a pillow, but I've been sleeping on them flat and not fluffing the pillow. And then I fluffed the pillow tonight, and it triggered this moment of like, I really haven't been taking care of myself. I haven't, for the past 2 years, maybe even longer. I have not been taking care of myself. I think that I am. I think that I'm taking care of myself, but I'm just surviving. So I'm just getting by every day in the routine of life. I stopped trying. I just coasted. And I stopped taking care of myself. And now I'm at this moment where the ground feels unsteady. And it's not even like I have a foundation, but I just forgot that the foundation that I worked so hard to build was there. And it kind of feels like a tower moment because the foundation is good, but the rest of it's gotta go. And that theme is permeating through every area of my life. It's complete Phoenix energy. Purification, I feel. But in that, I'm understanding that all this time I thought that I was taking care of myself. I wasn't. I was not thinking of myself. I was not taking care of myself. I was just doing enough to get through each day, to survive, and to just be in the routine of living. I stopped painting. I stopped being creative. I stopped taking care of myself physically as far as my diet goes, exercise. Like, I stopped completely. And my body, because of the trauma and the stress that I've been going through the past few years, it's just like all I could do was rest, and I didn't have energy for anything else. And I feel at this point something has shifted. And the past few years too have been like like I said, I stopped taking care of myself, but I was taking care of everyone else. I was making sure that everyone else was good, you know? And I stopped taking care of myself. Yeah. I'm tired. There's more to this too, though. I feel like, what was the other thought I had? taking care of everybody else, making sure that my mother didn't lose her house. Like, really, maybe I should take that out. Look, my family needed me, and I basically, like, I just, my whole entire salary for a year was for my mother's bills. So I kind of fell behind on a little bit of mine, but I just wanted to make sure she was good. I'm going to take this out. I don't want to put my, I'm not trying to make myself look like, oh, look at you. I'm just saying it was a lot of pressure on me, because if it wasn't for me, then everybody would have lost. And I had to help, even though I knew this environment was not healthy for me. I stayed. And so that was traumatic. That was heavy. That was a lot. My relationship with my boyfriend, who was my ex, who I've dated, all my life, off and on. We broke up for 5 years. I think it was 2017. Well, if we got back to 7 years, we didn't get back together until 2023. So what is that? 2017 and 5? Yeah, I guess 5. I think we broke up before then, though. Whatever. 5-6 years. And then we got back together. But that wasn't the first time that we broke up. We broke up years before that. Like 3 years into our, like 2 years into our relationship, or 3 years in, we broke up. For a while too. That's been really difficult. There's been like more betrayals, and we fight, and there's a lot of things that that I want to forgive, that I want to not, but how much? Like 48. I'm just gonna unplug this. I got off topic. I got off topic. I was gonna do this. I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I don't feel good. I stopped taking care of myself, and I just stopped being there for myself. And I was convinced that I was like, okay, I'm doing this, okay, I'm doing that, but I really wasn't. I'm doing the bare minimum just to live. And I think a lot of that is like, I don't know why. I got sucked into like some kind of wormhole. Like a side quest, like life put me on a side quest, and it's like I mean, I'm way stronger now than I ever was. But my body needed rest, and I guess I did in some way take care of myself by resting, but I'm gonna have to think about that. Yeah, I'm gonna ponder on it. Because now I could flip it around and make it, well, maybe the rest was me taking care of myself, or maybe I just didn't take care of myself and allowed myself to get into situations and to stay in situations and environments that are traumatizing and toxic to my well-being, and my body was just like shutting down bit by bit, and I've been sick off and on all year over the past 2 years. I mean, you could, like, I'm run down. I'm run down because I didn't take care of myself. And by that, I mean, when it comes to relationships or, with family, friends, my boyfriend, coworkers, or anybody, when it comes down to any of those relationships, I just wasn't taking care of myself. I was trying to look at the bigger picture. I do distinctly, but I think that was just a cop out in different scenarios. We're trying to be like the bigger person, but that's just a fucking cop out too. I'm so tired of being told to be the bigger person. I don't need to be the bigger person. I'm not going to tolerate people being abusive or using bullying tactics with me. I've experienced that all my life, and I'm just not, I had my boundaries for that have become now where I just can't allow it in my space. I try my best to turn the other cheek, but you know what? There's something about that whole concept that I don't really like. But I will say that, like, the be the bigger person, turn the other cheek. I feel like that is giving, it's almost in my mind, it means that it's empowering the other party to, it's like giving them more instead of giving them less. I feel like when you don't stand up for yourself, that it sends a signal to the other party that that it's okay to do that. And for me, I always want to fight back, right? I want to fight back, but really starting to understand other people through understanding myself, just, at least for me, at least I could see it for me, how these situations siphon off my energy, or being around someone when they're in a negative, like, I don't want to say negative, positive. I mean, it's all negative and positive and neutral. I mean, it's like when somebody is expressing a low vibrational type of energy, it's difficult for me to not want to defend myself against it. But I have found that the more that I defend myself against it, the harder it comes at me. So I think that the answer and the whole aha moment here is like what I've always known is that the answer is always love. And I have not been given myself enough caring and nurturing and really taking inventory, I'm losing my voice now, of how everything is affecting me, and taking care of my health, making sure I'm getting good sleep, making sure I'm getting good food. But what I should have been doing all along is making sure I can get out of environments that are toxic for me. But I help my family. So I don't regret that. I did the right thing. I don't regret it. This past year has been one of the most traumatic years of my life. Seriously. Well, that's about to change now. I gotta take care of myself. And, my father told me that the other day too. He's like, just worry about yourself. Don't worry about them. Just take care of yourself. Just take care of yourself. Focus on yourself and stuff. And my father always gives the best advice. Okay, this is 23 minutes. I'm probably not going to post this one, but I wanted to have it on some kind of recording. Stop taking care of myself. And I feel like that's where a lot of my anger comes from. It's like I stopped taking care of myself, and now I'm like angry. I took on too much, and I didn't say no, and I kept allowing things that were not good for me and to just continue, and little by little it just overwhelmed me, and things were not okay. Like, what happened to me in the whole past year and a half is some of the most, and I look at it now and I think, what's the point? What is the point of grown-ass people trying to hurt one another? Why do we do it? And it really is a waste of time. Because if your only motivation, and if you, or no, I don't want to say only motivation, but if you spend a lot of your energy trying to manipulate someone, to mentally screw with somebody, or if you spend a lot of your energy and invest a lot of your time into trying to break someone or hurt someone, or like mess with somebody, like if that's what you're doing, nothing good ever comes of that. Nothing. The only thing that might come up from that is if that person somehow has some kind of deep, I don't know, like an awakening moment where they understand that their hurt is projected out onto other people, and they see that, and then they start to self-reflect on it. But nothing, I guess I can't say nothing good ever comes of it, but I mean, whatever you do comes back to you. Whatever you do comes back to you tenfold. So it's just when you start to become an adult, it's kind of like I've wasted so much time fighting against, and I realize now the whole absurdity of it, where if I don't match with someone in values or ethics or vibe or anything that makes me feel uncomfortable or makes me feel bad about myself, at any time I can pull back from these relationships. I don't have to fight to keep like I'm investing my energy. Like, why do we fight with people? What is the fight about? The fight is always about it's an ego battle, right? Between who thinks they're right and how the other person should like it's a mission for understanding. Even if you're really fighting with somebody and you're saying awful things to each other and it's going back and forth and it's getting heated and blah blah blah, and you're saying mean things and they're saying mean things to you, is it really? Some people do want to hurt you, like some people really do want to hurt you, but for me, and when I'm fighting, at least for me, what I have, like, I just want somebody to understand me. I'm fighting to be understood. I'm fighting for a solution. I'm fighting thinking that if people just understand me, then they won't be like this, and I could and the situation will automatically resolve itself. I just want to be understood. I want to be heard, and I'm not at all anywhere. But I wish, it's not even a wish, I don't have to fight to keep people around me, to make them understand me. I shouldn't have to do that. And I don't even, the waste of my time and being hurt by somebody, like a grown-ass person wants to say mean things to me to try to hurt me. And like, some things people say are just vile, like everyone hates you, or you should have never been born, or You're the reason I hate my life. You know, if you were pregnant, drop dead before you have the baby. Things like that, you know. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants to be around you. All you had was your cat and then she died. Now you have no one. All of these things that people have said. And there's so much more. So much more. All of these things I really took in. And I'm starting to look at them now as hilarious. Because if you think about it, what kind of no healthy, self-aware, loving, happy person goes around saying that kind of shit to another person. I know, because I too have been the person who's toxic to other people, and I too have been the person who, screams out profanities at someone when I'm pissed off at something that they did or didn't do, or they betrayed me, or I see that somebody is doing something wrong and taking advantage of somebody, or whatever it is. That's mostly what it is. But I have a problem with liars, hypocrites, fake people. God works on me. But what I'm saying is the things that people say to me, I have let it affect me, and it shouldn't matter. It should not matter, because none of that is personal to me. The things that people say to you are personal for them, and the way that someone treats you, it's a personal thing with themselves that they're battling, that they're being triggered. And sometimes we're mirrors for each other. Sometimes you reflect back to somebody something that they don't want to see. Sometimes people are not comfortable or doing the self-awareness work or helping themselves, so they project out. And then if you're not careful and you're not taking care of yourself, whatever movie they're projecting out, you're taking that in as if it's yours. It's not. That's their movie. That's not your movie. That's what goes on in their mind. And I'm so tired of it hurting me. And I'm tired of my whole life being affected by everybody else's stuff. And I'm tired of it coming back on me as if I am the problem. Although I do contribute to the problem. I'm not saying that I don't. I do, for sure. I'm still a work in progress. I'm not perfect. But I have come a very, very long way. And I don't know, I just realized tonight I haven't been taking care of myself. There's always room for improvement. The best my body could do was rest. when my body started to have these issues. It was so subtle, but it's built up over a number of years. And to think that I can be in such a high stressful state and in environments and relationships and dynamics with people and just maintain, very difficult, very tiring. Just to maintain my vibe was exhausting, because it's like, you're it's just very difficult. But I feel now like, I think I made it more difficult for myself than necessary too. So, very simple solution to all of this is to get out of the environments. So that's my number one goal in the next year. But I don't want to put but in 2025 I'm getting out of here. I will take myself out of these environments. I know that. And I feel something shifting. And I do feel like there's something in the air. My family really hurt me. And I got back together with this dude. I wanted it to be good. I thought the years apart, maybe both of us had done enough self-reflection and stuff. But as it turns out, everything goes back to the same broken cycle. And sometimes I feel like, and I haven't dated anybody but him. He's been my only person, so, well, that's not necessarily true, but there were a few before him, and one or two people while we were broken up the first time. And a lighthouse. I wanted it to be different. But I kind of feel like maybe in relationships, when you're with someone, there is only a certain point that you can get to, and then that's it. No matter how much you try or how much you want to have a different kind of connection with the person, it's just never going to happen. You're just destined to get only so far, and then the rest of it is just shit. No matter how many times you're building on the good, like it's good up to this point, right? And then everything above it is just, it's like pixie sticks. It's like it's just like you're building the rest with like toothpicks, and eventually it's all going to tumble down again, and you can only get here. And that's how it's been. You got to be real careful about how you are showing up in relationships, showing up in in any relationships, in any interactions you have with other people, because are you betraying yourself? Because people betray you left and right. I've been betrayed a number of times. But nothing hurts the worst than the hindsight and the disappointment that you eventually become enlightened to, that you actually betrayed yourself in the process of trying to keep it all together and keep everybody happy and nobody else hurting and everybody else safe. It's not really, it's like, that's like a fairy tale. It's not even that. It's like I thought I was doing that, but really I was enabling people to keep repeating the same shit over and over and treating me the same way instead of having a boundary. I stopped taking care of myself in so many ways. I just like stopped. And I don't know why, but I have an idea about that. I feel like I gave up.